In September 2019, a 1-year-old baby named Mollie was alone in her crib inside a burning house. Her mother had been in and out of the flames multiple times. Her body was failing, and she went back in anyway. On the morning of September 3rd, 2019, Emma Schols woke up in her home in Edsbyn, Sweden, to the sound of her 4-year-old son calling from downstairs. Fire! She ran down and found her two youngest boys trapped in the playroom, surrounded by flames. She threw herself over them, took the fire on her own back, and pushed them out the front door. She locked the door from the inside so they couldn't follow her back in. 4 more children were still upstairs. The staircase was already on fire. She climbed it anyway. Emma Schols was 31 years old. She was barefoot. She had no protective gear, no backup. She went back in until every single one of them was out. When she finally got the other children onto the balcony, she realized her youngest, 1-year-old Mollie, wasn't with them. Mollie was still inside, in her crib. Her sons begged her not to go back in. She crawled along the floor through the smoke until she could see Mollie standing in her crib, terrified and crying. She said later, "I was so terribly tired, but I could see her through the smoke. And then I suddenly felt an enormous force, and I lifted her up." She carried Mollie down the balcony stairs and collapsed on the last step. She thought, "I've taken all the children out. Now I can go." By the time she collapsed outside, burns covered 93% of her body. Doctors said survival at that level is almost unheard of. She spent 3 weeks on a ventilator. She underwent more than 20 surgeries. She fought for her life for months. When she finally woke up from the coma, she asked one question: "Are my children alive?" Every single one of them was. In 2020, Sweden named Emma Lifesaver of the Year at the National Heroes Ceremony. Her eldest son, William, stood before the audience and said, "Sometimes I thought I would never see my mother again, but now we see her almost every day, and that makes me happy." Emma has never called herself a hero. When asked why she kept going back in, she said, "I just did what a mother does." Science can explain some of what happened in that burning house: the oxytocin, the adrenaline, the way a mother's brain is literally wired to detect her children's distress. But it cannot fully explain how a woman with burns covering 93% of her body crawled through the smoke to lift a baby from a crib. Some things sit at the edge of what biology can measure. I'm Nilu, and this is Wonder.